Hey, it's Avi, and today we're talking about great melodies, what makes a melody great, and 5 traits that will make that melody great. Well, at least one of these 5 is what's going to make that melody great. Not all 5 and not every single time, but one of them. Just the one. There's really not much more to say about this, so let's just dive in and keep things simple. Number 1, a great melody will create a musical narrative. A musical narrative is when the music will give us a sense like we're going on a journey, like a story is being told with the music itself. Human brains love stories, so giving listeners an auditory narrative sensation is super pleasing. Very good. Please do it. Here's an example of a melody with a very well-written musical narrative. Take a look. So that was number 1. Give your melodies a narrative. Make it feel like they're telling a story. Number 2, great melodies use sequences. A melodic sequence is when a specific intervallic pattern of pitches is repeated, usually between 1 and 3 or 4 times. This is a time-tested technique for establishing musical material, motives, and objects for both use and reuse throughout the entire piece, or song, or whatever you're making. Here's a solid example of a melodic sequence in a Saint-Saëns trio. Number 3. Great melodies have a strong sense of contour. Melodic contour is the general linear journey that a specific melody will go on. Having a strong sense of contour means that our brains are able to really easily classify and categorize different parts of the melody as they appear to us. Thinking in terms of this narrative contour allows us to help us work on that musical narrative that we talked about in number 1, and B, helping us avoid listener fatigue, since because we're thinking contour, like, we're going to be thinking about the registers in a little bit more specificity. Listen to how Beethoven uses melodic contour in... Yeah, it's Ode to Joy. It's Ode to Joy. I know. Come on, copyright stuff. Number 4, great melodies use variation, especially in repetition. Variation is when you take the core components of the musical material and you change it, while also leaving some of the other material alone. So what can you do to introduce variation? Well, it's more like, what can't you do? You can change the tempo, you can alter rhythmic diversity, just like use different rhythms. That's really all I'm saying there. You can change the texture, or you can go to a different mode, right? A lot of different stuff you can do. This is an integral part of writing music, kind of just period, and being able to do this allows you to stretch your musical material over the course of the entire song. It gives your music cohesion, right? It makes it feel like it's established and makes it feel like itself. And that's really important, because when you're able to do that, you're making music that people then feel like can't not exist in the world. Have you ever felt that? Have you ever felt like, this song can't not exist? Just doesn't make sense that there would be a universe without the song Bat Country by Avenged Sevenfold, right? It just doesn't make sense. The song is too good. Check out this example of variation used by Edvard Grieg in his piece In the Hall of the Mountain King. Number 5, great melodies feel complete. This is maybe the most vague, but it's also the most satisfying. Now, feeling of completion can come in different forms. It can come in the form of cadences, which is a kind of musical pause in a very structurally significant point of the song. It can come in the form of looking at the script. It can come in the form of sequences, like we talked about earlier. That's really, really useful. It can also come in the form of, well, form. Form is when we take the very specific organization of music and as a template and then put our own music into it. An example of musical form is, say, sonata form, a musical sentence, or a musical period. Songs also have forms. The standard, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. That is a very standard song structure. There's also strophic song structures where all the verses have the same melodies, and non-strophic where all the verses won't have the same melody. You can use and mix and match all of these things to help you create your piece. Here's a classic melody from Mozart that just feels super complete. What else can I say? So there you have it. Those are 5 traits that I think every single great melody will have at least one of. They create a musical narrative, they use melodic sequences, they have a strong sense of contour, they use variation, especially in repetition, and they have a sense of completion. If you want to start making great melodies of your own, make sure it's the very best it can be with my free guide, 7 Ways to Write a More Effective Melody. Each tip will give you a different view of your melody. It'll give you a different perspective. And every single one has a practical application that you can use in any melody, in any genre, even multiple times. Just run it through. Seriously, you download this thing once, you have it for the rest of your life, you can put every single melody you ever write through it, and they're gonna be better every single time. Grab my free gift to you at justwritemusic.com. There's a link down in the doobly-doo. Thanks so much for watching and for hanging out with me today. I'm Avi, and don't forget to be awesome.